G'day folks, welcome to my quest to find the best audio to use with my Fujifilm X T2. What I'm trying to find is, out of all the microphones I've got, what's going to be the best audio source. At the moment you're listening to me via the inbuilt mic in the Fujifilm X T2. No doubt it's pretty horrible and it's picking up quite a lot of room noise. In front of me I've got a range of microphones which I'm going to test out and just compare the audio. There's nothing too scientific about it. I'm just going to try and find the one that sounds the best and has the least amount of room noise and distracting noise from across the road. Because this is what I'm putting up with 5 or 6 days a week, and it's going to be happening for the next 18 months. Okay, so the microphones I've got in front of me, I've got the Rode stereo video mic, I've got the Rode video micro, I've got the Rode Link Filmmaker Kit, which is obviously a radio lapel mic system, and I've got the XYH-5 recorder with its standard XY microphone configuration. And lastly, what I'm going to test is my latest purchase, which is the shotgun mic adapter for the XYH-5. I started doing some tests about a week ago and found that my extension cables were pretty dodgy and giving me a lot of feedback. So I've invested in some better quality audio cables. I purchased them from cablechick.com.au. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll also link to where you can purchase all these different microphones. Okay, let's start the first test. I'll connect up the Rode stereo video mic and we'll see how the audio sounds with it. So first up is the Rode stereo video microphone. Testing. Okay, so this is with the preamp level in the camera set to level 5. Still using the Rode stereo video microphone. Testing at level 5. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing again with the Rode stereo video microphone. This time with the preamp in the camera turned to level 10. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I've got the Rode video micro plugged in. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the Rode video micro again, this time setting the Fuji X-T2 preamp to level 5. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Third test with the Rode video micro. This time the Fujifilm X T2 preamp is set to level 10. Testing at level 10. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Okay, now I'm testing out the Rode Link Filmmaker Kit. I've got the wireless transmitter here with the lapel mic attached to my jacket. Inside the transmitter you do have a gain control. I've got that set to 0 at the moment and can go to 10 and plus 10 and plus 20. So this is at 0 at the moment. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I'll now put the gain up plus 10. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the Rode Link Filmmaker Kit with the gain control set to plus 10 decibels. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll now push it up to plus 20 decibels and just compare that. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the Rode Link Filmmaker Kit with a plus 20 decibel gain control. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now I'm testing the XYH-5 recorder with its standard microphone configuration, which is this little guy here, the little XY configuration. Testing it 1, 2, 3. It does have a gain control dial on the top here. Currently got that set to level 5. I'll leave that at level 5. That should give us a reasonable result. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the XYH-5 recorder. I'll now switch over to the shotgun mic. Okay, the shotgun mic is now installed. It also has a gain control. I've set this quite low to level 3 because I'm sitting pretty close to it. The shotgun mic is extremely directional, so if I turn it to the left or right, you should hear my volume decrease. Testing, testing, testing. Hopefully that shows the volume decreasing. Coming back again, should be getting louder right now and getting softer again as I turn it away. Let's see what happens if I point it directly away from me. Testing, testing, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Putting it on the side again. Testing 1, 2, 3. And back facing towards me. Testing 1, 2, 3. I was really surprised at how low the levels were from the Rode stereo video mic. So I'm just going to test that out, plugging it directly into the Zoom H5 and using the Zoom H5 as a preamp. So at the moment you're hearing the audio coming through the microphone into the Zoom H5 back to the camera. The camera level is set to level 1 again, and I've got the Zoom H5 level set to 5. So I might just vary the gain control on the Zoom H5 and we'll just see what difference that makes. So starting at level 1, slowly turning it up, level 2, level 2, level 2, level 3, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 5, level 6, level 6, level 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, and 10, 10, 10. Just drop that back down to level 5 again. So that is testing the Rode stereo video microphone via the Zoom H5, using the Zoom H5 as a preamp, back into the Fuji X-T2 with the Fuji X-T2 preamp level set to level 1. Okay, so there's one final test that I want to do, and that is using the Zoom H5 with the shotgun attachment boomed above me in a typical kind of interview type situation. I also just want to compare the difference between recording directly into the Fuji X-T2 with cabling running through the Zoom H5, and also just recording into the Zoom H5 itself, and just see what sort of difference in quality you can get. So this is currently recording into the Fuji X-T2 via the extension cables, and I've got the Fuji X-T2 mic level set to level 1 again, and the level on the Zoom H5 is set to 5, so mid-range, just to test whether we need to go up or down with that level. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. I'll now switch to the audio recording directly into the Zoom H5. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's an obvious difference there between the levels, recording directly into the X-T2 and recording to the SD card in the Zoom H5. So I'll just see if I can balance those levels up. The Zoom H5 does have the ability to reduce the level of the line out, so I'll do that and see if we can get a more even level between recording directly into the X-T2 and recording to the SD card. That'll make things a little bit easier in the future if I do want to do it either way and just switch between the two different styles of recording. The obvious advantage of recording directly into the camera is that you don't have to worry about syncing up audio from another device, but the audio quality recording directly to the SD card in the Zoom H5 may be just a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going into the menu system on the Zoom H5, into the in-out option. We'll go down to line out level. So here we can take the line out level down to a maximum of -30. So I might take it to -25 and set that. Get back out of the menu. So now I'll just increase the gain level up a little bit because the recording onto the SD card internally was quite low at level 5. So I'm going to take that up to level 8 and hopefully by taking it down to -25 on the line out, that's going to even up the recording level directly into the X-T2. So let's give that a test now. Okay, I've now dropped the line out level to -25 on the Zoom H5. So hopefully this has evened up that line level between the direct recording into the X-T2 and the recording to the SD card in the Zoom H5. So this is the audio directly into the X-T2 at the moment. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now switching to the audio recorded direct to the SD card in the Zoom H5. Zoom H5 testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Back to the X-T2 testing 1, 2, 3. And back to the Zoom H5 testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, time for a recap and just to review the results of all that testing. Firstly, thank you for sitting through. If you've made it this far through the video, you're a champ. I know it's pretty boring testing all these different microphones and listening to some pretty bad audio along the way. So thank you very much for sitting through this. I didn't make any adjustments to the audio in post-production. I wanted to keep that as natural as possible. The aim is always to get the audio level somewhere between -12 and -6 decibels. That way if the audio does peak a little bit and someone gets a little bit louder or there's a loud noise, it hopefully won't peak too much. Okay, a quick review of the microphones. The Rode stereo video mic. Very surprised that a battery powered microphone didn't give a decent audio level when directly plugged into the camera. So that was a pretty interesting find. I don't know whether that's common with all these particular microphones or whether this one's just playing up. Eventually it did give some reasonable audio when plugged into the Zoom H5, but there was still a little bit of background hiss, so maybe some further tweaking of the levels is required there. Up next, the Rode Link Filmmaker Kit. Obviously lapel mic worked very well, had pretty clean audio and didn't have too much background noise. I can see myself using this quite often whenever I need to move around, so for behind the scenes, when I'm actually shooting, it's going to be very valuable. And of course the Rode Video Micro, perfect for that sort of run and gun vlogging type of scenario where you just want a small microphone sitting on top of the camera's hot shoe. In this situation, using the Video Micro, I've got the audio level in the Fuji X-T2's back set to level 10, and that's giving a pretty good result. So this is going to be great for sort of just running around, doing some vlogging type scenario. I won't be doing too much of that, but on occasion that will be very handy. And finally, the Zoom H5 with the shotgun attachment. Works very well. It does reduce the amount of background noise considerably, and that's obviously the purpose of a shotgun microphone. So I can see myself using it in this very situation where I'm talking directly to the camera and we've got a fixed shot so the mic can be positioned just out of frame. The Rode Link can also work in this scenario, and I'll be using that if I've ever got a second person that I've got a mic up. The Zoom H5 really does give you quite a lot of options and very reasonably priced. The combination of the Zoom H5 recorder itself and the shotgun attachment is probably very similar, if not less than a lot of shotgun microphones on their own. So I think this is a really good option if you are looking at purchasing a microphone for this type of work. You can obviously record directly into the camera through the Zoom H5 using it as a preamp, recording a backup onto the SD card as well. And don't forget, using the standard XY configuration microphone, you can use it out on location to record ambient sounds for adding that little extra depth to your videos. Well, that's pretty much it. I've done all the testing that I think I want to do, but now I've worked out the solutions for the 3 types of scenarios where I'm likely to be wanting to record audio to my X-T2. So I really hope this has helped any of you Fuji X-T2 users out there. Probably applies equally to X Pro 2 users. So if you're looking at using external audio with your Fujifilm cameras, I really do hope this has helped. Thanks again for sitting through this very long and probably very boring video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to get notified the next time I post a video. Thanks again. See you next time.